and welcome to this week's Weekly Wear, where we are back to testing out a new foundation. And today I have got this one right here from Physicians Formula. They came out, I think we all know about their butter products, their bronzers, their highlights, their blushes, that sort of stuff. Phenomenal products. Well, now they have extended that into foundation. So we have got the new Physicians Formula Ping Butter Believe It Foundation plus Concealer. This is $14.99-ish depending on where you purchase it. There are 12 shades available, which I don't know, hopefully I'll be able to find a picture with some models here so you can see. I mean, based on just the bottles that I'm seeing on the website, it looks okay. At least it looks like there is a few deep shades, a few light shades, and lots of stuff in between. Well, lots of stuff, with 12 shades, there's only so much to make up lots. But, I guess for Physicians Formula, this is a sad bar to compare it to, but I always like to remind myself of the days when I started out loving makeup many, many years ago, and Physicians Formula, you had 3 choices for a foundation. I think it was light, medium, deep, and they were all really similar shades of orange. So, they say there are all these benefits in the foundation. It's going to be ultra luxurious, has a powerful blend of muru butter, all of which come from the lush, nutrient-rich Amazon. Wonderful. It's got an incredibly creamy texture that is going to melt onto the skin, leaving a natural, radiant glow, while it is also a long-wearing, weightless formula to provide buildable coverage. It is also paraben-free and vegan. Love that. And directions are insanely easy. Just make sure you shake the bottle. And I can see why. It looks like it separates quite a bit. It looks quite oily in there. I got the shade Fair to Light. So we'll see. This is the second lightest shade in the range. It's always a little difficult to pick out a foundation shade online just in general, but then especially, like I said, when Physicians Formula is known to be a bit iffy when it comes to their color choices. But I think this might be a pretty decent match. Also, when's the last time you saw me without nail polish on? My god, I couldn't decide on a color last night. So yeah, it also says on the bottle this is for all skin types. So I just checked Ulta's website, and not only, I actually think you could use Rakuten. My affiliate link is always down below. If you don't have Rakuten, you are missing out on so much free money. Not sponsored, just legitimately a product or service that I use anytime I make a purchase online. But Ulta, if you definitely want to use Rakuten or be able to use Rakuten, that's a thing, and it's also a few bucks cheaper. It's $11.99 on Ulta's website, at least when I am filming. As I think you can see, we have a large range of things we can test this foundation out on my face. Got some scabs, some healing bits, some facial dents, general skin texture. So let's see how this does. Pump, it's gonna be one that works, which means it is the best pump. Definitely a thicker foundation, which I expect from one that is a foundation plus concealer. I mean, listen, there's a lot of stuff Physicians Formula didn't talk about in their description and everything of this, mainly that it smells like the butter bronzer. It does have that coconutty suntan lotion kind of a scent to it, or tanning oil, I suppose, not suntan lotion. I think it smells great, but I know that that's gonna bother some people, especially if you have fragrance sensitive skin. But I'm surprised. Did I just completely gloss over it, or I read it but it didn't register? This didn't say anything about the concealer benefits. It says it's a foundation plus concealer, so I'm assuming that was one of the main things. It looks like right off the bat here, it's looking a little orange. I'm really scared that this is gonna oxidize. I think this is passable. I should have just gotten the fairest shade. Oh well. That's life. That's life. But it did provide pretty dang good coverage. I am pleased. Now let's see how it does with a sponge. Of course, today, first day of testing, we are doing it without a primer, so we can see how this does on its own, but in further days of testing, I will put on a primer underneath to see if that helps or hurts. Glasses wearers of the world, as always, I've got you covered. Oily skinned beauties, I've got you covered, because oh Lord, do I have enough oil on my face throughout the day to provide for at least a few people's skin hydration needs. Ding. And there we go. As to be expected, definitely a more natural kind of a coverage on the sponge side, a bit sheared out and all that. I do like the way it looks on that side better, but you know, if you're looking for more full coverage, brush will probably be your best bet. I'm just gonna go in with a little bit more, see if we can get the concealer benefits of this foundation. They also said it was buildable, so I wanna see if that's true. Alrighty, so definitely has buildable coverage, I think. You can still see some blemishes peeking through, that's for sure, but it was buildable. It also gave me buildable orange coverage. Oh, it's okay. Today will just be one of those days where I say, thank goodness I'm still stuck inside, / also, thank goodness for masks. So either way, here it is. I do think it looks radiant and nice on the skin. So there you go from far away. So I'm gonna get on with my life, put on the rest of my makeup, test this out, and I will check in with you all, as always, at the very end of the night. Ready? Ding! Hello everyone, good evening. End of the night here on day 1 of testing. I am certainly curious to take a look at my face with y'all. All right, kind of what I was expecting. It was starting to feel really oily, not necessarily heavy, but like noticeably, tangibly oily in my extreme oil bits. I mean, my whole face is oily, but especially, you know, my forehead, my nose, my chin area. And whenever I have would just do the tiniest little touch on my nose, if I had a little itch, I just get a huge print of foundation onto my finger, so I kind of had a feeling it wasn't doing great. That being said, I think it held up a lot better than I thought it was going to. I thought it was going to be completely gone off of my nose from wearing my mask and whatnot, but that doesn't appear to be the case. My forehead looks ridiculous. Borderline redonkulous, but I'm gonna stick with ridiculous for now. I look orange and greasy and like I'm wearing a heavy-ish foundation. So it has been lightweight-ish for the most part throughout the day, so that's been good. You know, comfortable enough. It's my oily skin that was making it a little iffy, so hopefully a primer can help out with that. I will definitely be testing it out with primer in the days to come so that we can see, and I am excited to share those results with y'all in just a second. Ready? Ding! Hello everyone, good evening. End of the night here on day 3 of testing. Not day 6, thank God. If that doesn't tell you how I feel about this foundation, let me show you. So you all saw day 1. On day 2, I went ahead and tried out my Touch in Soul primer, as well as using my L'Oreal Full Cover Concealer and a brush and a sponge to apply again. And you know, I thought it all went on and layered well, all that good stuff. I had intended to use a white mix-in medium because of the orangeness of this foundation, but I totally forgot, but that's okay. I thought, you know, it was still orange looking on my skin, but it looked nice enough. It still looks like I have foundation on, even when this is initially applied. It's fine. It looks fine, but it looks unnatural. And then once again, it felt fine all day, but you know, once my oils started coming through, that's when it starts to feel heavy-ish / noticeable again on my skin. If you have oily skin, you probably know exactly what feeling I'm talking about. And you know, even just the slightest, tiniest touch of my face, I saw immense transfer. At the end of the night, you know, 10 hours into wearing this, I thought it looked better than it did on day 1, certainly not as oily, and I think that's because of the primer and also because I was not as physically active. But that being said, it still transferred, it's still wiped off, it's still looked like makeup and not my favorite. So I was willing to give this one more shot here on day 3, where I used my Holy Grail primer, my Guerlain Beautiful Balls, along with my Milk concealer, you know, a lighter concealer since this foundation looks heavy enough on its own, and then also with my white mix-in medium. And, you know, I did my darndest. I thought it looked fine. Once again, I mean, this is the tale of me trying out a foundation and expecting different results, when in reality, the foundation is the foundation and it's probably going to be the same no matter what. But as I said, I was not giving up hope, and I still wanted to try it out this way. But once again, it looked fine. It looked like makeup though, and throughout the day, I just have been feeling like I want to wipe it off, you know, like that's the kind of foundation that this is to me, is that it's the kind where once my oils come through, which is usually about 4 or 5 hours in, I just want to take my makeup off, like get it off of me now. It's like the feeling of when you've worn your bra all day and you get home, get it off me now. Or if you've worn jeans all day, get them off me. PJ pants, where are they? Now. I just don't like it. I think it looks the best today as then compared to the other days. I think, you know, it's less oily at the end of the night, I think because of the Guerlain primer, but overall it's just, this is a formula of foundation that I don't care to ever put on my face again. So for pros and cons, just to summarize real quick here, there were some pros, a few of them. I had to dig deep, but I did find them. Application is easy, you know, it's not difficult to apply and blend. It does just fine, no streakiness, that sort of a thing. And it also has buildable coverage, which I personally love in my foundation and prefer. And it also starts off looking okay on the skin. Is that really a pro? But like looking at the footage from the previous days and stuff of me wearing, I feel like when it's first applied, it looks okay. Told you guys, I dug real deep on this one for those pros. But that is where we get into the cons. First off, I mean, what can I say other than orange? Why? Why? It's also quite heavily scented. I mean, I personally like the smell of it, and the scent does not linger or anything. It's like once it's blended out on your skin, I don't think you can smell it anymore, but I do know that that's gonna bug some people. A, if you don't like the scent of coconut, and B, if you have extremely fragrance sensitive skin. I also think a huge con is that this just looks like you're wearing makeup. It looks super unnatural, and there are just so many other good foundations on the market, even at the drugstore, that are also vegan and whatnot, that, right, maybe take the vegan part out, but like certainly there are other foundations out there that just look better and nicer and more natural on the skin, I think. It also gets very oily and greasy looking if you have oily skin, and along with that, once the oils come through, oh, this stuff just wipes right off. Literally just, you saw the footage. It's nasty. So there's the pros and cons. There's my review on this foundation. Certainly let me know if you have tried out this foundation and if you felt the same or differently as me in those comments down below. You can also let me know if there are any other makeup products that you want to see me test here on my channel in upcoming weekly wear videos. You can also just let me know how you're doing. Did you enjoy the video? Find it helpful? All that good stuff in a comment or by giving the video a thumbs up down below. I would really appreciate it. And if you're new here, hey, hi, hello, how are you? You can go ahead and subscribe. Tippity tap that notification bell down below and become a member of my casserole family here on my channel. I'd love to have you here. And as always, I just hope you guys are all doing well. And until next time, just stay well until then. Bye!